educating businesses on the state's new employer sanctions bill, as well as challenging it in court. That is part of the strategy unveiled by the Arizona Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back, everybody, to Sunday Square Off. Okay, Jessica, this question comes to you. So if a business was doing something illegally and directly affecting customers, you would let, of course, the public know. But so why shouldn't a business that is hiring illegal workers be properly punished?
They absolutely should. We firmly believe in employer sanctions, but employer sanctions needs to be part of comprehensive immigration reform. And quite frankly, the bill that was signed into law by the governor has a number of serious issues that are outlined in her signing letter, as well as some others that have been identified by constitutional experts. And we want to make sure that we have the legal clarity that we need so businesses actually know what they need to do to be in compliance. Right now, that's really murky water. We're doing what we can to educate our members and making sure that they have all of the information, that their HR folks have the information, so they're going to be following the steps that the bill outlines. Okay. We're also reaching out to Congress to make sure that the basic pilot program, which is the electronic verification system for employees, that's well funded. Right now it's woefully underfunded, and all of Arizona's 150,000 businesses are going to need to be using that by January 1st. And we're working with legislative leaders and the executive to see if we can get some changes and some clarifications to the language of the bill, and we're hoping that we can move something legislatively. And then we're also looking at the legal aspect. We as a business organization, our #1 focus is to make sure that the business climate here in Arizona is one in which businesses can thrive. We feel that this makes doing business more expensive in Arizona. It creates more regulation, and particularly since it's not very clear in some of its legal aspects, we want to make sure that that clarity is there for Arizona businesses and hopefully for those that are going to be moving here.
And we'll let Jeff jump in. I'm curious if business owners, small business owners, medium-sized business owners call into your show. What do they say?
Well, I think people feel that sanctions are an important thing. When a company is out there hiring illegal workers, not only are they exploiting those workers by paying below market wages, they're also cheating their competitors. And so businesses that play by the rules and do things right are at a disadvantage in the marketplace. We agree with the Chamber. A lot of our callers agree with what the Chamber says about businesses need to know exactly what the rules are so they can follow them. One of the things that concerns me about the sanctions, though, I think it may create somewhat of a chill in people hiring Latino workers, because if there's a lot of uncertainty about what the rules are and the fear that these penalties are so strict, they may just choose not to go to that angle.
Let me jump in. This bill does nothing to address the cash economy or to address identity theft. And those are the two primary contributors to people that are not work authorized working in our labor pool. And so what this bill does, it creates a number of hoops for legitimate businesses to jump through, because those bad actors aren't going to engage in the new rules anyway.
I give you 15 seconds.
You know, these guys are so off base on this issue. The basic pilot program is probably the biggest boon to business since the 1986 Simpson-Mazzoli Act. Basically what it does is it requires businesses to run I-9s or visa numbers, social security numbers through the program. It takes approximately 3 minutes to get the report back, 97.9% accuracy. After 3 days, that rises up to 99.7%. There's 150,000 businesses
left here
in the state of Arizona. The basic pilot program is geared to hit 7 million, to handle 7 million. They've just been funded $300 million. It's not hard to figure this law out. All you have to do is follow the law.
Okay. You know what? When we come back, folks, our guests here will have their final thoughts right after this commercial break. Welcome back to Sunday Square Off. So, what's the bottom line on the border battle and also illegal immigration? Let's get to our final thoughts. And Don, lead us off.
Thank you. The legislature, under the leadership of Speaker Wires and Representative Pierce, passed the Fair and Legal Employment Act this past year. The governor and the Chamber of Commerce immediately proposed making changes in the law, and a group of businessmen filed lawsuits to prevent enforcement of it. Fellow Arizonans, the only sure protection from employers who hire illegal aliens is passage of a citizens' initiative. If you support legal Arizona workers, go to azgrassroots.com for how you can help. Thank you.
Okay, Jessica, we'll pass the baton to you.
Well, with the federal government unable to act, Arizona has taken it upon itself to enact immigration reform. There's just one problem with that. The law harms legitimate businesses, and in an attempt to go after the bad guys. Not to mention, it's unconstitutional. The Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry is shedding light on the flaws of the new law and will work diligently to make legislative improvements. We will educate our members on how to comply with the new rules, and we're also seeking legal action. Arizona should be a place that welcomes business. Unfortunately, this law encourages companies that it's just not so cold in Idaho. For more information, make sure that you're informed. Visit azchamber.com.
Okay, Jeff, camera 3's got your close-up ready. Have at it.
We're in the midst of the longest political campaign in our country's history. I'd like to urge my fellow Arizonans to reject the politics of fear and suspicion and divisiveness and look to leaders from whatever point on the political spectrum they may rise who challenge and inspire you, who speak of hope and progress, and will call upon what Abraham Lincoln called the better angels of our nature. Perhaps then we can remember that we are a community, and together we can revive and restore our great nation. Thank you.
And you know what? We thank all of you for showing up today for Sunday Square Off. This has been a good one, and we appreciate you joining in as well. And don't forget, you too can be a part of the show. Just send us your questions or any of your comments to sundaysquareoff@12news.com. And make sure you join us next Sunday right here, right after Meet the Press, for another round of Sunday Square Off.